I'm Marty Stouffer. Which animal lives in the highest, steepest, most dangerous terrain North America has to offer? Here's a clue. It was called white buffalo by early settlers. The animal? The mountain goat. It's not really a goat at all, but is distantly related to the Old World antelopes. This peculiar beast arrived from Asia during the last ice age and evolved to fit a unique niche. Looking to me like wise old men with long white beards, I think it's appropriate that their approach to mountaineering is conservative and methodical. Their fancy footwork in this vertical world makes them true cliffhangers. Glacier National Park has a harsh alpine environment where glaciers once ruled the land. Enormous valleys were carved, and mile after mile of precipitous cliffs were created. Animals such as the grizzly bear make this one of the wildest parks in the United States. But there is no better symbol of Glacier Park than the mountain goat. As spring returns, the snow recedes, and glacier lilies blanket the landscape. A male blue grouse calls for a mate. The mountain goat is uniquely adapted to a life high in the crags. The most critical point is where hoof meets rock. Consisting of a hard keratin, the outside of its hooves are rigid for support, but the insides are soft. This allows the cushioned bottom of the hoof to conform to the slightest irregularities in the rock. It would seem that intense concentration is also necessary. Perhaps this is why the mountain goats appear to be so methodical, so meticulous, so endlessly patient. In late May, the female mountain goat, called a nanny, isolates herself from the group to give birth. Only minutes old, this newborn, called a kid, enters a dangerous world. This black bear poses little threat to a healthy kid, but it might catch one that has been injured. more dangerous bear, the grizzly, will attack mountain goats, given the opportunity. But for now, this female must content herself with the bulbs of glacier lilies. Rocky cliffs offer security to the nanny and kid. They will remain isolated for nearly a week, during which time a strong maternal bond will be formed. Even the rockiest of terrain provides little protection from the goat's most formidable enemy, the golden eagle. Goat country is also eagle country. The cliffs create updrafts, which are ideal for eagles to soar on. The bird's strategy is to strike an unsuspecting kid and hurl it to the rocks below. But the nanny is constantly on guard and usually positions herself between her offspring and the cliff's edge. Golden eagles probably kill more mountain goats than any other single predator. Yet their overall impact on the goat population is small. When the kid is old enough to travel, they join others working their way down the mountain. Initial meetings can be somewhat confusing as the herd begins its annual June trek to a mineral lick. Moving away from the safety of the cliffs, the goats are vulnerable to predators, especially the grizzly. One of the most popular mineral licks is here, on the middle fork of the Flathead River. Goats congregate from miles around for this annual rendezvous. The clay soils contain sodium, essential for the growth of new summer coats. The still nursing kids seem disinterested in the whole process. With the best areas claimed by the dominant goats, yearlings must concentrate their efforts in more difficult areas. After several days, their need is satisfied, and they begin the climb back up to the high country. The few remaining snowfields provide relief from the rapidly warming temperature. Summers in Glacier Park are short. By July, all the goats have started to lose their winter coat. The mountain goat has a layer of long, hollow guard hairs over an underlayer of fine wool. The normally thick beard is now thin and ragged. Indians once gathered this soft wool and wove it into clothes and blankets. The nannies with kids are the last to shed. By August, the kids have thick coats of their own. With the first frost of September, the valleys are painted red and gold. The goats' sleek new coats have grown thick and long, while the days have grown short and cold. They're now in top physical condition, having stored a layer of fat in preparation for winter. The kids begin the winter weighing only 30 to 40 pounds, and they remain dependent on their mother for survival. This is the season when bighorn begin the all-important matter of winning a mate. The solitary male mountain goats, called billies, also search for females. By November, winter seizes the land, and the annual ice age returns. The billy moves through a group of nannies, checking the sexual status of each. Two competing billies circle head to tail in a ritualized behavior. They seldom fight, since one stab with a sharp horn could be fatal. The victor approaches a nanny in a low stretch. This subordinate posture is less threatening to the female. Another male is digging a rutting pit, but starts to display when a rival appears. The winner will mate with most of the females. Completely preoccupied with mating, the billy scarcely eats for a month, and with the worst of winter yet to come, this sacrifice is sometimes deadly. When he finds a female in estrus, he follows her for days. Together, they endure the harsh winds of early winter. Deep snow and strong winds force the goats to move down in elevation. Bighorn sheep also descend to lower slopes, where the wind exposes food. It's a costly trade-off. The wind also steals body heat. Elk winter mainly in the valleys. They're large and strong enough to paw through the snow. Mountain goats do not migrate to such low elevations. They meet winter at its harshest, high in the cliffs. As snow accumulates, travel becomes more difficult and food more buried. They push their climbing skills to the limit, taking greater and greater risks for each mouthful. They must eat nearly every type of vegetation to survive. Icy March is the most difficult time for kids. During a harsh winter, 8 out of 10 will die. Insulated with its thick winter coat, a goat patiently endures at 40 degrees below zero. During April, entire mountainsides are in motion, echoing to the sound of snowslides. Avalanches kill more goats than any other single factor. Once again, spring returns to the high country. In early May, the melting snow reveals an abundance of food. Recently emerged from its den, a grizzly searches for goats that did not survive the winter. The mountain goat leads a harsh, demanding life. Only the strongest survive to reproduce. Goat carcasses provide carrion for scavenging bears, wolverines, eagles, and coyotes. Every herd has members which escaped with only a broken leg, or a broken horn, or both. Once again, the time of birth. Soon, the kid's tiny hooves will be navigating the rocky trails and scaling the high peaks of its ancestral home. But for now, a shaggy mother is challenge enough. There's plenty of time for other challenges, the greatest of which will be simply surviving. For in this rocky world, life itself is nothing short of miraculous. Mountain goats are found at the extreme limit of life. They survive higher and steeper than any other large animal. These wild mountaineers have evolved the acrobatic skills necessary to live in a realm of icy rock. But they're still at the mercy of man, and they've declined in portions of their original range. With wise management, hopefully they can maintain a strong foothold in their remote wilderness home, so that we may always admire the confident cliffhangers. I'm Marty Stouffer. Until next time, Enjoy our wild America.